in everybody to Frank's retirement home. We are here with some semi-final action between Baba's Kitchen and Ice Age. My name is Helenu, here with Ruler of Men and our lovely spectator, Ken4159. And before we jump into this set, what we're going to get is some quick interviews, some quick trash talking opportunities from our captains about to play. So without further ado, TPD, what do you got for Chef Baba?
All right. All I want to say is just something simple. We played them twice. We've 2-0'd them twice. I don't see any reason why it's going to be different the third time. Y'all about to burn down the kitchen. That's what we're going to do.
TPD says 2-0 easy, Chef Baba. Any response?
He's been talking all week. Talk is cheap. Let's see what happens when he doesn't get babysat all lane. So we'll see.
Oh.
The babysitting allegations have come through. All right. Anything else for each other, gents?
Nah, we all good. It's going to be a great set. 2-0,
Good luck,
but a
brother.
great set. Yep.
Alrighty, we're gonna send them back to their teams so that we can get this thing started. Ruler, you hear what they had to say? Anything you're expecting to see this set?
I mean, it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Both of these teams are a little bit lopsided, with their players, strong in different areas. This is a good way to put it. So definitely going to be exciting to see, which one is going to be able to make it through. Is it going to be Baba's Kitchen off the back of, Chef Baba going crazy in the solo lane with PV in the jungle? Or is it again going to go towards the back line of this Ice Age team that we've seen just perform week after week?
Agreed. We're gonna have to keep an eye on the solo lane, specifically for Baba's Kitchen, as we hop into picks and bans. Get this party started right off the gate. It is a targeted solo ban. No Kakalin for Chef Baba. Had a great quarterfinals on that pick, and they do not want to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely good thing that we're seeing the research come out immediately. Both of these teams are like, yeah, no, not gonna let Baba have his Kakulin, not gonna let Lenkanu have his Gilgamesh jungle, not gonna be dealing with the monster that is Vamana, especially with Equinox, being available for play.
Yeah, Equinox being available for this play, along with a whole bunch of other changes. Probably the biggest change being that new objective on the map, the Bull Demon King, over in that solo lane prior to 15 minutes. Which team do you think that favors as we kind of adjust to this new meta? It's really only been a couple days.
Yeah, definitely think that's gonna lean a little bit more towards Baba's Kitchen, like we were talking about just a second ago. They have a little bit stronger of a solo and a little bit stronger of a jungler. At least in my opinion, definitely could see that switch up today. Not gonna put anybody in a box like that, but just historically should be going the way of Baba's Kitchen.
Agreed. And we see the rest of these picks and bans come through. See the Vamana taken away, Bologna, Thoth, and Kukulkan. Khan. Still a little bit of mid lane priority being thrown in the bans. And most noticeably here, Odin makes it all the way through. Cthulhu makes it through as well. Some characters that were doing very well last patch. I think people are still a little up in the air on how good they are on this new patch. But who is always good? Hachiman taken first overall for D Pity. I mean, who's surprised?
I'm not. I mean, it's really tough. He was trying to beat the one trick allegations, and it doesn't seem like he is. Seems like he's fallen right into the Jacob trap. No, he was talking about. I'm not a one trick. I've played him only two more times. Like, I don't know, play a different god.
Yeah, it's semifinals. Even if you are, the allegations of a one trick, it's still just a very good ADC. Can't complain at all. And play what got you here. I think that's a big thing for teams as they roll through these semifinals to make sure you don't get too far away from what got you this far. You've played well enough to make it to semis. Just keep on doing what got you this far. And on the side of Baba's Kitchen, we see an X-Ball and a Sun Wukong. Another character that just, he was kind of the king of the soul lane before this last patch, and likely still is the king of the soul lane on this patch. And AMC Fafnir, a very good double hunter comp locked in the top three for Ice Age.
Yeah, and not only that, those are probably their most comfortable gods. We've seen, Jolt in the mid lane on that AMC put up performance after performance. We've seen Stop You hit some absolutely disgusting hammers and really bring home some dubs with that Fafnir pick. So going straight for that comfort, and I cannot blame them. This is semifinals. This is a pretty close set. I think these are two, you know, not even debatable top teams. So definitely going to be an interesting one.
For sure, Ravana going to be the last lock in here for Baba's Kitchen. I like that as a character that can build hybrids, can build a couple of those physical defense items and still get a good amount of damage out onto those ADCs. And then we take a look at the second wave of bans. Poseidon, Ganesha, and then Chang'e and Ao Guang. Looks like Baba's Kitchen just trying to ban anything they think could possibly go into the jungle that does magical damage.
I mean, I'm a jungle enjoyer, so I can understand the ban. I mean, what if you got blinked on by Chang'e and it took 1200 from
Terrifying.
the ult and then 900 from the one? It doesn't feel good. It really demotivates you. You're like, oh man, if I don't have beat Vegas, I just died at Chang'e.
Yeah, Junko, one of those characters that just kind of pops in here and there. I mean, the build got a little bit worse for her in the sense that Conduit got a little bit worse, but if you're playing it in a jungle who needs that Conduit, we just don't care. But characters that did not get any worse, Yamoja, still doing super, super well. There is that nerf to Bobble, so we're likely not going to see any Bobble Yamoja gaming unless it's very, very late into the game, but still no jumps except for the support on the side of Ice Age. If they're able to get those walls up there, could be problematic. And then we see Nike and Mammon Brigade. How do you think Mammon's doing right now?
I have not seen a Mammon in a long time, and I hate to think that it's because she's not that great. I mean, obviously, you're a magical jungler, gonna have a little bit of a tougher time in the early game. You're pretty good in that like level 1, level 2 scenario, but after that, you really want to, get 2 or 3 items online before you're doing something. So definitely going to be a tough one for Ice Age to stick it out towards that, early mid game.
Yeah, Mammon definitely was a character that got heavily nerfed quite a few times. I think she's almost falling back into the sleeper category of a character that if you don't play against it that often, you forget that she does still do a fair amount of burst damage. Not as crazy as it once was, but she will still burst you down if you let her full combo you. Kind of like the mana we talked about a little bit with a mana coming back into the meta, a character that you don't play against for such a long time and you forget how much damage they can do. And it's kind of on a similar boat here. The last pick for Baba's Kitchen, this Yuhong, got some nice buffs this patch coming around, and a character that's been a comfort pick for a lot of mid laners in the past. It's been a while since Yuhong has been really prevalent, but has pretty good matchups here into a lot of what's on Ice Age. And a character that does a sneaky amount of damage, especially in lane, especially if you go for those kind of double flat pin builds that are pretty popular right now.
Yeah, definitely. Just, pretty strong as well because there's not a ton of dive from this Ice Age team. You're rocking the double ADC. Yeah, sure, maybe a Fafnir jumps at you, but AMC is not closing the distance to force out your what is it? Not necessarily, but self banish. I guess I don't know. It's a tough one to describe. You go up in the air, so it's really hard for them to force that out to follow up on it. So I think that if that Yu Huang is played correctly, just going to be able to get out of danger pretty quickly, especially with a Yemoja backing that up. Yeah, I'm just gonna go up and then reverse rebuke, and you're never even gonna look at me in a fight.
Yeah, the Yu Huang should be very safe here for the side of Ice Age. It is just an objective burn comp. Probably going to be Nike solo zoning a lot of the time, maybe with that Maman helping them out. But Maman also has kind of sneaky good objective clear as well. Obviously, you've got the Fafnir, you've got the Hachiman, you've got the AMC. Would like to see this comp pulling objectives early and often. On the other side, they do have some good tools to deal with that Yuhong has decent secure on objectives. That Dueling Dragon's ultimate can be so devastating even if you don't steal the objective, but forcing the backliners towards you in a place they don't want to be. Ravana has a very good dive to disrupt that as well, and Wukong can't count out some sneaky steals from Cudgel and just a lot of disruption in the backline. So going to be a tale of burn versus disruption. See who can come out on top here.
Yeah, definitely going to have to be careful. Like you're talking about. Best secure on the map is that dueling dragons. Maybe a pyro bomb instead. Probably right around the same amount of damage. So you might have all the shred in the world, but there's a lot of steal attempts that you do not have secure. So going definitely like you're talking about a battle of yeah, sure you can shred it, but can you secure it? And definitely going to be interesting to see how they dance around those objectives.
Yeah, I love these objective burn comps come objective time, certainly, but come playoff time is what I meant to say here. It really tests teams' reaction time early on into a set. If Baba's Kitchen isn't on top of everything, doesn't have good ward vision, isn't keeping track of where members are on the map, those objectives will go down so quickly. It's a very easy play style to generate quick leads if the other team just isn't on their A game for that for the beginning of the game. I mean, Gold Fury can go down basically as soon as it spawns with a Fafnir AMC and the Hachi. So Baba's Kitchen needs to do a good job getting ward vision, making sure they're communicating where members are on the map and don't get caught asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, definitely always a tough one with those burns, like you're talking about. They can just get such a big lead if Baba's Kitchen aren't up to the task of stopping them. Going to have to just say, nope, you can't go to that Gold Fury. I know you want it. I know it's gonna spawn nice and early. Spawns at what, 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that Bull Demon available at 2 minutes now,
Yeah,
so
it's
yes,
so early and it's so good. I love like you just get that and then you just knock down the two wards that the support buys and you just get a free 100 gold. It's so fun.
it is very fun, very good objective. For those of you unaware and not patch notes readers, I don't blame you. They are very long sometimes. But Bull Demon spawns in at 2 minutes, lasts until 15 minutes inside the Fire Giant pit. It is the same Bull Demon from the Joust map, just with a slightly different effect. Gives you some gold and XP as always, but gives you the ability to see enemy wards for a full 60 seconds. It is a long duration, very powerful buff, and gives solo laners something to scrap over early on. It's not particularly tanky, doesn't do a ton of damage back to you, so you can easily do it with just two members. Getting a third member there makes it go down very quickly, and some characters can even solo it, but Wukong Nike probably not going to be those types of characters. But with that said, do you prefer the Wukong in the Robin or the Nike in the Mammon for that early Bull Demon scraps?
That's a tough one. I think that Robin is one of those those characters that can just solo it. You have the extra health from the shield, you have a little bit of healing from the
Doesn't
three.
want me
You
and
have a
hell
lot
no.
of, ability to just stand there and hit it. So I could see him just, oh look, Mommin's gonna go gank duo lane. That's cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and take this bull demon. So I think that this early game is really gonna come down to, who has gotten used to the new mechanic. It hasn't been in the game for too long. Not a lot of people have adjusted to it yet, and definitely something that's going to propel these games a little bit faster in the early game.
Yeah, it's only been in the game for 2 days, and unless there's a potential these teams have gotten a scrim on it, but wouldn't be all that surprised if this is the first competitive set that either team has had with this new mechanic, which is fun. They move their game up a little bit and have a little bit less time to practice on it. Makes for some unpredictable plays here, which is always fun to watch as we finally get started into the game here. Take a look at starter items. You seen anything that catches your eye early on?
I'm seeing one thing that is just killing my eyes, and it is the health chalice out of the Mammon. Health chalice out of I get your Mammon. It takes you a little bit to clear camps in the early game. That's such a big gold investment early, especially as a jungler. Going to be delaying that tier 2 Doom orb. It's just slowing down the build. I'm not a fan. and they paired it with Vibrant Shard.
Oh, we are Vibrant Shard builders. We are also mid lane gankers. AMC loses that beads very early on. Mammon quite a bit slower to come over. Just doesn't have as much clear as Ravana. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Doesn't have the dash, thankfully, for fans of Ice Age, the Ravana 3. Just off the root. Yu Huang taking
Yeah.
way too much damage, and Scooby Daddy just walks into Joel, and AMC gets a gifted first blood.
Yeah, getting a little too big for his britches there. Just says, I'm going to get this kill, I'm going to get this kill. Mammon walks just as fast as you. You can't close distance.
She walks faster. She has speed buff.
Speed buff, yeah, you're right. You're speed buff even. Like you're not going to be able to close that distance without a dash, and you're Yu Huang. You can't do that. And there's just an AMC laying it down on you, and Chef Baba lays down the cudgel, taking Captain Boat to the gray screen.
Lays it down, a clean solo kill. Mammon in a little bit of trouble, able to dash out in the mid, and that is not a good sign for Ice Age there. This Wukong can snowball out of control, has gone for the aggressive Soul Eater Bluestone start. That character starts to get ahead, gets those items online just a little bit faster than Nike's ready for. Also going an aggressive build, going for that Jotuns into Jotuns Vigor. If you fall behind going those damage first builds, it can be really rough. Captain Boat's gonna have to be careful over there to make sure they stay safe for the next 5 or 10 minutes and kind of stabilize that lane. Don't want a Wukong to snowball on you.
Yeah, definitely. And that build, like you're saying, it will snowball. Do it like this. Okay, yeah, sure. I got the mid wave, and I'm in AMC. We're just gonna go ahead and shred this Bold Demon down, and Ice Age should be able to secure this one up. Please stop tanking it. Mammon is full health with a health chalice.
Yeah, he's an AMC. He's got no mana. He's back in anyways. Maybe pick up one more wave or a red buff. But a nice early Bull Demon for the side of Ice Age. And I love that. AMC just has so much early damage in his kit. Why not go over and grab that? At the same time, you're going to get a nice blue buff invade off here. Mammon going to get this absolutely for free. And that's very big for Captain Boat. Wukong already talked about it with that Bluestone. Soul Leader doesn't have a whole lot of MP5 in his kit. Wukong is a decently mana-hungry character, so taking away that blue buff should help out Captain Boat quite a bit, who was able to grab their own buff at the same time.
Yeah, definitely going to be tough to fight a Sun Wukong without that mana buff, you know. Definitely you want to use, you know, the cudgel into the spin to go ahead and clear that wave, and then, well, if I use Tiger Stun now, then I can't clear the next wave, so, you know, make you play a little bit more patiently there, and that's definitely going to help, at least in this early game. Give them the next 2 minutes of a little bit of respite.
Another build thing that caught my eye a little bit here is we see have a Soul Eater first for the AMC in the mid lane. Not often what you see, almost always that Transcendence. Occasionally you see a Jotuns in that
Wouldn't have
first
minded the
slot.
Jotun, wouldn't have minded the Transcendence, but who are we to judge
Don't
when
think
you're getting
about
a big fat solo kill in the mid lane? Hits the Stinger, takes him right to the gray screen. Jolt 2-0. Dodges the
Yeah.
Mystic Rush.
Jolt dodges out the Mystic Rust. Beads are good, so at least some compensation for PV in the mid lane. But Jolt is just running it down on this AMC. Maybe the Soul Eater damage catching Scooby Daddy a little bit off guard, but now a Yu Huang that is going to be considerably far behind. That is scary for Baba's Kitchen. He is a traditional mage in the sense that he really needs 3-4 items before he becomes a huge threat on the map. And right now, down 2 levels, not what you're looking for. Another thing you have to be careful. You can't let this AMC snowball.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking about, you know, Ice Age being a really good, you know, scaling objective shred comp. What makes that really strong? Having a really big hunter. Now, you know, he's rotating over for another Bull Demon. Yeah, he's up 800 gold on his roll. Yep.
800 gold in 5 minutes is a lot of stinking gold. Granted, a fair amount of that is that first blood
bounty,
going
yep.
to
Right
the
around, like,
AMC, but
300?
2 Bull Demons gonna help out him and his squad a whole lot, of course, along with that extra kill as well. It is a good day to be the beat in the mid lane. The gank
Might
attempt
not be
coming
too much
from
of a good day.
the Ravana. Dueling Dragons not quite on the mark there for Scooby Daddy. I like the idea you knew his beads were down just a little bit off the mark. And now the return gank from Mammon. Gonna take a look, but 3 members each in the mid lane going to slow down the action.
That's not okay. Yeah,
Loses
Where's your
beads. The
beads?
Scooby Daddy just steps up a little bit too far. Thinks he maybe could have held onto them, but uses them rather safe than sorry. Already has those 2 early deaths. Doesn't want to make it a third. And they are fighting like a beacon is available. That is not up for 6 minutes. Another good hammer from Stupu. Just annoying the Yu Huang, trying to make him uncomfortable in that lane. Amen getting low here on these mid camps is going to get most of them dash away. Going to be okay. Ravana did have the ult, maybe could have tried to chase out there, but wasn't confident with the Fafnir hovering.
Yeah, I don't hate that call. You know, you're not looking to make crazy plays here. You want to play a little bit safe. It is, you know, semifinals. It is best of 3. You lose some momentum on this game 1, and it could just, you know, kind of take your mind out of the game. So don't hate making a safe call.
All right, I'm gonna need some answers here. Actually, X-Ball going to ult over in the dual lane for the shield buff. Looks like they were able to secure it, so good use if the ult gets some value out of it. Is down Will half a level over there. Haven't seen
You're
exactly
asking the Hydras.
where that's coming from. Oh yeah, we're talking about the Hydra's AMC.
That was something that me and Zek were talking to Jolt about. You know, he was, you know, building the transcendence in that spot, and it's like, you're so far ahead. Why are you like building a stacking item? Keep that pressure on. Lenkano able to pick that one up. Good gank with T Pity there, going to, you know, bring them to 3 and 1, and they're looking pretty good.
X-Ball is getting their ult forced out on that shield, and the gank is good from the Mammon. Ult forced away by the Wukong as well, not having a great time in that lane. Loses the Scepter, loses their ultimate. The Nike does use the ultimate as well, and then a purple buff invade from the Mammon. Fafnir wraps around just to make sure their jungler is a-okay. I understand the idea of keeping your momentum on for the AMC in that mid, but if you really want that next item there, I mean, why not just go Dominance or Jotuns?
Dominance, Jotuns, yeah, no, they're
Why
all
not
good
just-
options. You're a mid laner. You want burst damage. What if I hit you with a stinger and an auto that did as much as the stinger?
But it's not. It's just not going to, man. Because you
It
don't have
doesn't.
Transcendence. You don't have that much power. Anyways, Pole Demon gets picked up here by Baba's Kitchen. The Fafnir ult to try and contest it. Jump in, and he is going to be able to steal away. Ice Age has stolen the Bull Demon. Yamoja getting low. Ravana forced the ult over the wall. AMC trying to find one more bit of damage onto the Emoja. The bubbles for the slow might just buy them enough space, but Lenkanu has enough damage, has that full Doom Orb online and swinging. Fafnir continuing to be an annoyance in the back line. Blue buff taken as well. Things are going from bad to worse for Baba's Kitchen. They get the Bull Demon stolen away. They lose their support and they lose their blue buff.
Lose the blue buff, and you're gonna lose a wave in mid tower. That's another big one too. Scooby gets forced out, gets pushed under that tier 2 tower in solo, and Jolt just farms that up, and he's gonna continue to push this lead.
Yeah, AMC very far ahead in this lane. The Nike starting to get a decent lead as well, thanks to all those blue buffs invade. You take a look at those net worth charts. It is a lot of blue names. One Chef Baba, and then a whole lot of red names at the bottom. Yuang fighting his demons on the blue buff is going to be able to secure it there at least. Not going to fall down to buffs.
I'm just impressed he got the correct Tiki on the first auto.
Yeah, you have to hit the
It
yellow
feels like a
one.
mini game. Yeah, you have to
hit
like.
the yellow one. It's so annoying, man. Assuming you want blue Tiki, because
Maybe it's just not up. Maybe they don't have the option to bounce far enough to mess him up. Oh, Yamoja, this is not a good place to be.
Yamoja gets stingered, gets crippled. The slow comes out as well, and that is just another kill for this AMC, and he wants more coming to this purple buff. Picked up his stinger, ready to party over here. Looks like the ADC on his way now. T-Pity makes his rotation, and X-Ball gives up his dash aggressively. is able to secure his purple buff with it. There's a victory, at least in that sense. Fafnir wants a little bit more onto this Expo, holds on his beads for now. Is he going to regret it? He is. 4 members of Ice
Oh
Age
no.
have wrapped around that tower. Now Ravana forced to ult defensively. The Fafnir thinking about it. He is so low.
Oh,
The
he was
jump
not thinking
misses.
about it. He
Jump
was waiting for
misses,
cooldown.
but the hammer is good. Will the tower kill him? It won't. From bad to worse to extremely bad goes things for Bob's Kitchen, and they're gonna lose a Gold Fury on top of it as well. Everywhere is going badly for Bob's Kitchen.
Yeah, definitely just a big game from Ice Age. They know their comp, they're playing it well. They're rotating for these objectives, they're on those bold demons. They're looking for this pick over in duo so they can pull that Gold Fury in. I mean, just playing a lot better than we've seen them play in the past. They're focused, they're here, they're building a lead quickly. I know in their quarterfinals games they were struggling a little bit in the early game. Saw them, drop a couple more kills in the early game, have to come back, but getting this nice clean lead early, especially against this strong of a team, they're looking strong.
Ice Age is deathballing the map right now and so scary with this style of comp. Fafnir from ahead, nearly unkillable. The double ADC is going to do so much damage, and a Mammon with a 2-level lead over Ravana. Mammon scales so much better than the Ravana does into the late game. It is concerning to say the least. I mean, Chef Babo only down a level, Paradox only down a level. Maybe try and fight through your side lanes if you're Babo's Kitchen, because mid lane is a death trap right now.
Yeah, definitely. Mid lane is where this team is focused. Did see them go ahead and pick up that bold demon, and again, they just pick up that beacon. They're on top of it. Yu Huang incredibly low, forced to beads just to get into the air due to the Stinger cripple.
The cripple comes out, as you said, forces the beads, gets the Yamoja ult out of Rory Mercury as well. No cooldown available to them when they use that, opted for the Thieves first over the Prophetic. A fine option. Can't really not going to complain either way there.
I am.
Does mean that River's Rebuke is going to be on cooldown for such a long time. The Mammon might have bit off more than they can chew. The Darkest of Nights comes out, gets a lot of damage off, but the immunity on the Mammon Dash is so good there for Len Canu, a pick that we haven't seen in a while. Looks very, very comfortable and steals away the purple buff.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh,
This is
Scooby
devious.
Daddy!
This is
Oh
devious.
no! He might not know what's happening. Now he certainly does. Smacked in the back of the head by a dragon
Oh,
and a
the red buffs there. That's
and a
that's
spirit
so
bomb.
tragic. Robin, please, no, please run. Just let them have the pyro. It's not your red buff, man. It's not yours.
PV wanted to say hi, sticks his head in, gets smacked around a little bit, and says, "Alright, I guess that's yours." Pyromancer goes down as we could have predicted. Fafnir ultimate times out at the perfect time. Everything coming up Ice Age. They are up 7,000 gold in 14 minutes. If you're Baba's Kitchen, how do you find your way back into this?
I think, like you're talking about, we need to stop congregating in the mid lane. We see PV there a lot. We see Rory there a lot. We need to start playing through these side lanes where, yeah, no, we're not that far behind. Seeing about a level and a half for Paradox. Baba's right even. I've even seen him, start to invade a little bit of those back camps. So, getting it done. Fortunately, gonna miss the stinger there. Don't worry, it'll be up in like 60 seconds.
Yeah, not a super long cooldown for that AMC ultimate. Yu Huang goes to try and clear a hive, eats half of its HP for Yamoja getting poked out as well, though Fafnir taking a decent amount in exchange this time. So his trades starting to look a little bit better in that mid lane, but that is still a 3-level down Yu Huang. Hachiman getting wrapped on here by the Ravana, still has ult, still has relics, not going to be under any real pressure. Is T-Petty's kind of manufactured a 3-level lead? I mean, the purple buff invades have been there for sure, but beyond that, I think he's just been able to get his own green, get his own purple, and Paradox isn't getting any of that. Has only died twice, but 3 levels down. Make that 2.5 on the X-Ball.
You also have to think about, Ice Age is getting all of the objectives. We've seen them get gold, we've seen them get pyro, we've seen them Yeah, I believe every single bull demon
He's being chased behind his tier 2. Anyways,
by a Fafnir.
T1, sorry.
By Fafnir. Fafnir, no, he dies to take.
Gooby Daddy goes down to the bees in the mid lane. Went for a Rada Tahuti. Second item, X-Ball getting war crimed under his tower. It is complete. T-Pity takes some tower shots for the heck of it. Absolutely no need. Fafnir ulting just to be a big
They're
annoying
close enough to
dragon.
the primal there. They can use it there too. They're fine.
Runs away. Green buff getting invaded by her AMC. Everything falling apart for Baba's Kitchen. This gold fear going to get absolutely melted. PD thinking about it. Please don't do it. This certainly is certain death for the Ravana. Walks in, does hold on to the ultimate, so at least is going to be able to get out safely. But Gold Fury goes down very quickly to this Ice Age squad. On the other side, Chef Baba not able to steal away the blue buff. A good attempt trying to get something happening on the other side of the map, but not quite able to outsecure that Nike.
Yeah, and I'm really liking the build on this Nike. A lot of people overlook that void shield. You're looking at your glad shield. You're looking at that breastplate, but that void shield really facilitates. Boat doesn't want to be the main character here. He's gonna go in. He's gonna get abilities out, drop that Sentinel Zeus.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sentinel Zeus, and then okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, now my AMC hits you for true damage.
yeah, AMC going to be swinging level 17, 3 levels ahead of the majority of Baba's Kitchen. Just that Chef Baba hanging in there in levels. Wukong getting chased out through the birds, through the ultimate. Maman wants a little bit more. Does this Wukong have enough defense to live at this point? They do not. Sentinel of Zeus is good.
Oh,
Evaporated is the Ravana. My goodness, Dueling Dragons tries to find a little bit of space, but they just cannot fight this AMC. Level 18, 13,000 player damage. It is an early Fire Giant pull from Ice Age. Dueling Dragons is down from the Yuhong. Just a 3-man on this. So far, Lenkanu had to take that back, but this Fire Giant is not going to be contested, and that is an 18-minute Fire Giant for Ice Age. They are putting the pedal to the metal, and I love it. Absolutely not giving Pablo's Kitchen time to breathe.
exactly. Playing it just as the comp was designed around. It's like, yeah, cool, yeah, we shred these objectives. We're gonna be on them. We're gonna take this fight because we're ahead. Gonna pick one or two people and then boom, objective, boom, objective. Oh, you're in a tower. I don't care. So I definitely think they've really been putting on a performance this game, and I mean it's hard to see how Baba's Kitchen is going to slow them down. Definitely going to have to play some defensive battles. I mean, you do have the River's Rebuke, really good for that siege defense. Lock somebody in one of these tier 2 towers, lock somebody in a Phoenix, and be able to just wail on them there. So, definitely opportunities, but it's not going to be a fun game until, they have a couple successful defenses.
Yeah, Baba's Kitchen kind of shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit with some build selections as well. Griffin Wing coming out for Paradox. It's a nice MP5 item on this X-Ball, but it means he doesn't have that kin side that is so vital to chewing through tanks. Scooby Daddy went for an early Rod of Tahuti, which again feels nice in the early game, but slows down your build so much. Has 2 items while EMC has 4.5 items down, and just not going to be doing any damage is this Yuhong right now. And you say that Fafnir's HP is not moving at all. Has the upgraded relics early with the relic dagger. I love the decisions Ice Age are making here. Not getting greedy, not going for a Phoenix, realizing it's a 20-minute FG push, just getting all of these T2s off the map.
Yeah, exactly. Looking to push their lead rather than make risky plays. I think that really sums it up perfectly. It's, yeah, we could probably win a fight, but we have to worry about River's Rebuke. We have to worry about Darkest of Nights. We have to worry about those dueling dragons. You're not defending a tier 2. Plain and simple. You don't have the resources to step out of that Phoenix and say, we're going to fight you in the tier 2. And Ice Age is just, yeah, fine with it. Yeah, we're going to keep pushing our lead. Gonna, rack up like 5k or so post taking that Fire Giant, and they're already pinging out that Oni Fury.
Wukong stepped up because he thought it was safe, runs straight into the loving arms of Joel and deleted before he can even think about getting into that somersault cloud. And now maybe with the pick, gonna try and sneak a bird here. Three members of Baba's Kitchen down at that Gold Fury. Not sure if they stepped on a ward or if the pick was just enough, but regardless, it is one Yu Huang trying to slow down four members of Ice Age, and he's not going to be able to do it. No chance there for the mid laner of Baba's Kitchen, and that Phoenix goes down. Onifir does go the way of Baba's Kitchen, so at least a little bit of gold in their pocket, but not as much as that Phoenix in the right lane.
Yeah, I do love to see them make those plays though. You know, right now they can't really afford to take a clean fight with Ice Age. So they're saying, where can we get value? Well, they're in the right lane, so let's go to the left lane. Let's get something there. Oni Fury's up, let's get that done. And I think that's a really good way to look at that. Say, well, we can't take this fight, so let's just go do something else. Let's try to get this farm up. Let's try to get to this late game, stall this out, and get ourselves back even.
Absolutely. They've got to find a farm wherever they can. Honestly, at this point, I'm probably sending Scooby Daddy to the duo lane saying, good luck, soldier. You're going to die, but hopefully you get a couple waves before you go down. And level 15, he's just not a threat at this point, is behind the support of Ice Age. I mean, really, the XP lead out of control at this point. 16,000 gold as well. You gotta do whatever you can to get some farm, but realistically, Ice Age, this is a 99%er for Ice Age. Just need to play it safe. Don't get overextended. Don't get picked in the jungle. Shut down on a variety of members, but specifically a kill onto Jolt would be probably worth more than a gold fury right now to Baba's Kitchen. So as long as they play it safe, play it smart, should be in the bag.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I hate to say it, but it's Ice Age's game to lose. You know, they're going to have to make mistakes to even put Baba's Kitchen back in the running. I know it's not something fun to hear, but they've just built up such an incredible lead off of just great performances all across the map, and they deserve to be in the position they are in right now.
Absolutely. They are posturing like they want to step up to this fire giant. If Ice Age realizes they should just take the fight, I mean, Baba's Kitchen needs that six-man of the Phoenix right now, but instead they are stepping up to this, deciding they want to try and make a Hail Mary play here, but one Mammon is zoning away three people because she's level 20. What are they going to do about it? And the answer is absolutely nothing. They're going to go back to base, not able to find their way into the fire giant pit. The horrific comes out on the Wukong, does have the ult. Mammon on the backside is driven away by Paradox. Darkest of Nights was used at Wukong, going to be able to transform and get away, but they are running it down. Is Ice Age. Chef Baba needs to find his way back to the Titan room, help out his boys on this defense. It's not Enhanced Fire Giant, but Fafnir so tanky, not taking a lot of damage at this point, but suddenly River's Rebuke is good. The jump gets caught by the wall, has to use the shell to get out safely. Wukong trying to find something in the back. The Phoenix goes down, and that was nearly a good fight for Baba's Kitchen. It looks like they caught the Fafnir jump on the River's Rebuke. A weird interaction there nearly works out for them, but unfortunately not quite enough damage to bring down the dragon at this point.
Oh, he jumped out of it, and then he got pulled back by the dueling dragons. Pulled him right through
Oh,
the
is it
wall.
doing dragons?
Yeah, yeah. Dueling
What?
Dragons just pushed him right back in. It was an incredible play, and
I thought he jumped, the walls came up, and he like clipped back into them. But if it's dueling dragons, nice ultimate.
it was
from
Dueling
Scooby
Dragons.
Daddy.
It was a really good play, but unfortunately, Baba's Kitchens are too behind. You know, I think also like you were talking about earlier, Scooby's build it feels really good early on, but again, there's a lot of really expensive items there. You know, Deso pretty cheap. And then, he just scrolled to the bottom of the list, ordered by price and said, ooh, Tahuti, ooh, Mirrodin. And that just really delays your power spike. You're spending a ton of gold on your build. Look at Joel. He spent, the same amount in his first three items as like the second two items in Scooby Daddy Doo's build. So
Yeah, and that
like
is one
that's
of the small advantages that gets lost on these hunter mids. Their items are just cheaper. Physical items on the large and buy are just cheaper than their magical counterparts. Mage items very expensive, and that Soul Reaver not going to be done anytime soon. Dark of the Knights comes out way too late. Just a hope and a prayer that he was on time to stop that Phoenix going down, but it is just evaporated. That AMC is full build at 25 minutes, just ripping through everything. Right Phoenix goes down as well. Just the Titan, the Stinger, comes out onto Chef Baba, forced into the somersault cloud. Not a lot of places to go. They fan out, trying to cut him off. He chooses towards the Hachiman, who isn't going to be able to kill him just yet. Mama's ult comes out, knocks up a couple. River's Rebuke is decent, catches a few members, but the shell comes out to mitigate most of that damage. And now the Titan is the last thing standing. Fire waves on their way in for Ice Age. The Titan is getting low, down to half, down to a third, and it is game over. Ice Age dominate game one of the semifinals.
yeah, definitely gonna need to see some differences in the picks and bans for game two. You know, you can't let Jolt have this AMC. We saw him just, get that first kill, kind of gifted a little bit, Scooby Daddy Doo gets a little bit greedy, and then he does not let off the gas from then. I think that you have to ban this AMC. I think that, the Fafnir was a really good pick as well, obviously facilitated with the rest of the team, but that AMC has to go.
Yeah, if Jolt gets AMC in game two, I'm filing a formal complaint to the owners of Baba's Kitchen saying, what is going on here, man? That's just the AMC 10k player damage more than anyone else in the lobby, if I do remember correctly. Take a look. Yeah,
Yep.
it's 25,000 damage. Nobody else breaking that 14, 15,000 mark. Just so much damage. I mean, T-Pitty got a free
He
ticket
got
in
carried,
that game.
hard carried.
Almost, all right. Jolt did more structure damage than T-Pitty did player damage.
I mean, T-Pitty almost did, as much structure damage as player damage. You got to look at it like that. Just
Hey man,
not getting in there. I don't know.
hey, sometimes you're just in the backpack, and that's okay. When your team's running it down mid, I mean, he had a 2 or 3 level lead on his own over in duo, so was doing his part to help the snowball. And sometimes if your mid laner's just going crazy, you just do your job. The rest of Ice Age certainly did their jobs good. Stat lines all across the board. For Baba's Kitchen, gonna have to find something in this game to need something that feels a little better in mid early on. Maybe a jungler that can help facilitate Chef Baba there over there on the Wukong. But we'll have to see what adjustments are made after this break. Gonna hop into a quick intermission while we get ready for game two, and we'll be right back with game two of the semis. Welcome back, everybody, to Frank's retirement home. Once again, my name is Helenu here with Ruler of Men and our spectator to Ken. We are here for game 2 of our semifinals between Baba's Kitchen and Ice Age. Game 1, to be frank with you, was not close. What do you need to see here from Baba's Kitchen to bring the set back and save their season?
I think you just have to ban the bees. I mean, that's the jolt pick. You know, we've seen him time and time again just put on insane performances through that AMC, and that was no exception. So, gonna need to see them at least think about banning that out.
Absolutely. If AMC is not the first thing banned in this game by Baba's Kitchen, I am protesting. If it makes it through, I am refusing the cast. That is a joke. I'll still do it. I'll just be upset. But I do not want to see AMC in Joltans this game. But also, I mean, your other lanes weren't going particularly well either. The X-Ball fell fairly far behind in lane, largely due to those purple buff invades. And while later on in the game, that was the AMC, it wasn't the AMC for the whole game. It was the Fafnir, the Mammon, and the Hachi making their way over, plus maybe a little bit of a lack of pressure from the Ravana. So I'd like to see something in that equation change, whether it's a higher pressure hunter, higher pressure jungler, or I mean, I don't know if there's a world you could ever ban Mammon, but Len Canu had looked really good on that pick, looked very comfortable on it the whole game. I mean, maybe you think about banning it just so they don't run it back?
There's there's other gods that we've seen him be a lot more comfortable on. You know, the Gilgamesh comes to mind, and we did see that get banned out in that first game. So there's a lot of things that you want to ban. So it's hard. You know, there's a lot of things. Do you ban out the Gilgamesh because that's his strong point? You have to ban out this AMC because wow, that was that was an AMC performance and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a performance that we want to see again if you are a fan of Baba's Kitchen. What we do want to see is picks and bans for game 2 starting to roll on through. Gilgamesh going to be the ban taken away, and they have swapped over to first pick, have Baba's Kitchen, so we'll at least be able to take something away from this Ice Age draft. On the other side, you see the Kakulin once more out of the way, and AMC has been banned. We have done it.
We did it, boys. We did it. We got him off the B. It's it's
Yeah,
it's everything we
had to
wanted
go.
and then some. Oh yeah, no, definitely had to go. I mean, just incredible performance last game. You can't say anything about it. It's just yeah, no, he did it. Yep.
Yep, he did
AMC.
it.
Yep.
He looked
Problem.
great.
Yep.
Let's
Problem.
never deal with that again. Can't imagine that Jolt is going to be getting that pick probably for the rest of the season, if I'm being honest. Regardless of how long that season is, can't imagine that pick goes over to him again at all. But we'll definitely won't be seeing it this game. Agni, Thoth, Vamana banned out as well. Leaves up this Kukulkan, which has been a little bit teams are a little torn on how good this character still is. Ate some small nerfs, wasn't very popular during that conduit gem meta that we just were in, but now conduit got a pretty heavy nerf. Kukulkan much prefers that Sands of Time, so up there again in the mid priority list. Do you like taking it first overall though?
I don't mind it. I mean, he definitely did take a pretty nasty hit when that Book of Thoth build got nerfed. So it's a comfort pick. I hope it's a god where you're like, yeah, no, this god, I can play this god, I can perform. Let's make this happen.
Makes sense to me. I mean, Scooby Daddy had a little bit of a rough game on the U-Hauling. Had some nice ultimates towards the end, but never really found his footing in that game. Hopefully, the Kukulkan will make that a little bit simpler for him. Bologna, Chang'e are going to be the choices for Ice Age. We saw this Chang'e banned away, bottom 3. I mean, is that a jungle pick? Is that a mid pick? I mean, it can kind
It could
of
even
play
be a solo
both.
pick.
It could be solo. We could get Bologna ADC. It's not impossible.
I
Don't think we're going to be seeing that in game
I'm
2
a
of the
Bologna
summer.
ADC believer.
It is a lot of fun to play. Is it viable in comp? Probably not, but it's fun. But what is definitely viable in comp is Hachiman and Athena. If you saw this draft a couple months ago, you would have said that Baba's Kitchen, excuse me, was cheating. They hacked the system, and Ice
Yep.
Age just let them pick whatever they wanted.
Yep. Just screaming draft if. They they win. They win. Definitely not quite the case anymore. I mean, certainly a much more orthodox comp. You know, looking at a little bit more of a standard play style where we see. I'm scared. They've
We've,
they've locked Sun Wukong
yeah,
and
we've
there's a
seen.
Bologna, and I'm scared now.
Yes, things are going off the rails quickly here. Do a quick recap to catch up as we were flying through. Ganesha locked in on that last pick for Ice Age. We saw the Odin, Osiris, Yu Huang, and Ishtar taken away, and then a Wukong locked in for Ice Age means either the Chonga's going to mid or the Wukong's going to mid. I mean, there could be a Wukong jungle, could be a Bologna jungle. I mean, all those things are relatively viable right now. Bologna jungle with that Equinox with mannequins is definitely playable. I mean, Surtur leaves a lot of things open to questions here too. Surtur honestly has been more popular in the jungle recently than in the solo lane. He did get some kind of reworks to his one and how his stacking works, makes it a little bit better in the jungle than it used to be. Until
Yeah.
we see this last pick locked in for Baba's Kitchen, not really sure where it's going.
Yeah, not 100% on anything, and I like to be kept on my toes. I don't mind it. You gotta have a little bit of fun, and I mean I'm a big believer in the Surtur now. It does a lot with that change to the one like you were talking about. Not an incredible change for it. It's not game breaking, but making it more consistent to stack up that damage is just incredibly nice for it.
Yeah, Surtur feeling a little bit better. His items are still pretty good. Is a character that can get away with building that new Equinox items feels pretty good. He's doing most of his damage through those auto attacks still, like a lot of those popular warriors at the moment. And it will. I mean, they still could be jungle Surtur. Ratatosker can play the solo lane. It's not as common to expect that Ratatosker to go into the jungle, but it's not impossible. I mean, Ratatusker solo is never really bad per se. It's just not usually the best thing you could be playing.
I mean, I'm a huge tank rat believer, so
Oh, it's so much fun.
it's so fun. It's not even like fair how fun it is. You just get the double spin acorn. What is it? Thick bark?
It's the gray one. I can tell
It
you
is.
that.
It's the silver one. Yep.
I think it is thick bark. Thick bark, was it evergreen, and then
Evergreen,
bristle blast
Thistlethorn,
is the yellow one because that's the
Thistlethorn.
one that everybody builds. And boy, can I not tell you the name of the crit one because nobody builds it. But
But
anyways,
it's fun.
it is fun. And last pick here for Ice Age will be this on her. And still some questions about where all these picks are going. Not going to play spoiler. It is a little bit spicy. We will see that as we load into the actual game. But
Gonna have to
looking
wait
at
and
these
see. Yeah.
comps overall, who do you favor here?
Um, this is a really tough one. I mean, just going by gameplay last time, you want to lean towards Ice Age, but comp wise, Baba's Kitchen clears.
Yeah, Baba's Kitchen, I think, vastly improved their comp. Not that it was really that bad last time. It was a very simple, easy to execute draft. You have a nice, easy engagement between either Athena Taunt or the Ratatosker ulting in. Surtur can able to blink in, chase down some of those targets, has a nice chase out. Kukulkan, plenty of damage, good objective secure as well. Hachi able to participate in those chase downs as well. A very well-rounded comp out of Baba's Kitchen. I am curious how Surtur Ratatosker does in that Bull Demon fight. I imagine it's pretty decent, but Wukong going over to the side of Ice Age along with that Bologna, probably going to have some double hunter or some double warrior comps happening over on that Bull Demon, and Warrior's just so strong earlier.
Yeah, definitely going to have to watch out for a lot of things in this match. Honestly, there's just so much going on. So many differences in the strengths of these teams as well. that Surtur is scary. That Surtur can get such a big lead so fast.
Yeah, I am gonna keep an eye on the build for the Cerner. There's a lot of different ways you could build this character. Segment, of course, very popular. Sometimes even Vital Amplifier in the past. Equinox in the build for sure now, depending on how you want to go about it. A lot of ways you can go. Different starters are viable on them. We've seen some Sigil Surtur at times in the past. We've seen Death Soul. We've seen Warrior's Axe. We've seen Bluestone. Really, just about everything can be viable on this character, just depending on how you want to play your laning phase and how you want to transition your build into the late game. So Surtur, always a very feast or famine character. When he's ahead, feels very oppressive, just runs you down, can't get away from him. And when he's behind, just kind of gets one shot before he can get into his ultimate. Kind of like Yorm in that sense, where when he's ahead, just does way too much damage, runs at you, very annoying. But from behind, can just be a little bit of a sitting duck.
Yeah, definitely going to be a tough one for sure. Honestly, looking at these team comps, it's so hard for me to choose which one that I think is better. That's always something I like to do, and it's like, man, this is so tough because yeah, I watching that last game, like in my head, it's like, man, it's going to be incredibly hard for Baba's Kitchen to make a comeback after that. But they're strong players.
Yeah, we gotta see how the mentals are doing. At some point in your playoffs, no matter what team you are, no matter how well your regular season was, you're going to get tested mentally in the playoffs. Obviously, game one, not what Baba's Kitchen would have liked to happen. You need a little mental reset. Get through your first couple levels without having any incidents like last game. Get Scooby Daddy over to that level 5 mark. Get your Ratatasker over to your level 5 mark, and start making some noise with those big ultimates. They do have a very good mid to late game comp. And what I do like here is their early game isn't as bad as last time Kukulkan. Just kind of stalemates lane into most lane opponents. And the Athena Hachi sets up a kill lane nicely for this Ratatosker. Would like to see them playing over in that duo lane. The on her not nearly as safe as the Hachi that we saw last game.
Yeah, definitely not nearly as safe. Definitely could see a lot coming out over there, and would not be surprised to see it happen either.
Not be surprised. And as we take a little bit to load in, I think some low spectate may have been missed. I guess we'll spoil the Ice Age draft here just to give us something to analyze here. It is a Chang'e jungle. It is a Wukong mid. How do you feel about those decisions? What are you looking for from both of these picks?
I'm excited. I'm a big Chunga, jungle believer. I know it's not a very common idea to hold, but she's just so fun. It's something that she's my most played mage, and it's not because I play her in mid. It's not because I play her in solo. It's I can do stinky things, but the
The
early game
DJ
on it
Pernicus special?
is so tough. You have to be very careful on that early game. You scale up really well in the late game, but early game you just have to be playing perfect, just farming up, not looking for fights when you don't have ult up. So going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I feel like Chang'e Jungle almost plays like Bakasura, where your early game's not
Mhm.
great. You're a threat as soon as you get ult, and anytime you have ult, you're a threat. But if you don't have that, you're kind of doing much, just trying to power farm. Able to power farm with that rabbit that did actually get a nice little buff. Goes back and forth to base a considerable amount faster than it used to. Previous patches might help out, be able to grab a health pod or something you might not normally want to send your rabbit back for. If it gets back a little bit faster, get some more trips out, can help you stay out on the jungle just a little bit longer, try and push that farm. And going to need to do that, the Ratatasker is going to be Rat has that early game spike due to his acorn, very potent in the early game. And it looks like there might actually be a few technical difficulties here in getting loaded into the game. So we're gonna hop as I say that, the game loads. Let's go. Be
It's simply out there
just
to
a
make a
minute
liar
here,
out of you. Yep.
man. They they just wanted to keep us talking and rambling for as long as we can. Wanted to make
Mhm.
sure everyone can listen to our beautiful voices as long as possible. It'll be just a minute here as we get everything set up on our end. Chang'e Jungle needs to make sure they don't fall behind as a character that from behind feels like they kind of do nothing, just becomes a CC bot. From ahead can definitely be one-shotting some unsuspecting members of Baba's Kitchen.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see if they are able to, manage to farm up correctly, get, everything they need to in that short time because they are just very, very weak in that early game. You don't do a lot of damage, you're not tanky, you just get blown up, you don't have movement, but getting past that, you're clear, you're good. You do just so much.
Absolutely, the Changa gonna have to make sure they play it safe, but really eyes on the Athena. Personally, they have so much follow up for the Athena taunt. If they're active getting beads, this Wukong in the mid, we'll have to see if they choose to go for that blink or for that beads, especially if they go blink like a lot of these aggressive mids do, such as the Wukong is a very easy target for the Athena. Even if he doesn't go beads, a good taunt, or even if he does go beads, excuse me, a good taunt should get those beads away. An additional taunt can force that ultimate. Just a very easy way to make sure that this pick that wants to be aggressive, wants to be on the tower line of the Kukulkan, isn't able to do what he wants. And if Wukong's not able to get that kind of early pressure in the mid lane in that early to mid game, it kind of falls off, and you get to late game, and you're like, huh, why are we playing Wukong mid?
Yeah, definitely going to need to get his work in this early game, but if he's going to play anything like he did in that last game, not going to be too much of an issue. So gonna have to see how he's able to navigate this early game.
We pop into game two here, the jump party one more time for the Ice Age. Honestly, I love this. The team bonding before the game starts. Why do we need to be isolated when we can all just be in the mid lane, jumping around our Captain Boat on the Bologna, and they finally disperse out to their buffs here. Why are they not dispersing to their buffs? Uh,
They're getting that.
is anyone else getting concerned? Okay, all right.
Yes.
I thought
Concerned,
for a
yes.
second here. I mean, they picked, not a troll draft, but a little bit of an off-meta draft here. Definitely not trolling. All of these picks are decently viable in their respective roles. I was a little worried we were gonna see like some five-man mid shenanigans come out there for a second.
5-man mid is a tough one to deal with. I mean,
It's
sometimes
very fun for about 3 minutes, and then you've either won or lost the game in about 3 minutes based on how early you get those towers.
yeah, you either instantly knock down the mid the mid tier one and you just win the game because of it, or you're just sitting there just twiddling your thumbs like, man, we just lose now, huh?
Yeah, or you queue it in your casual and they pick Kukulkan and you're like, I guess I just never get a minion wave. That's cool. And then you go back to your lanes and cry.
Yeah.
But over in duo lane, Hachi and the Athena getting a little bit of the better end. And my eyes are on Scooby Daddy in this mid lane. Had that early tumble last game. The Wukong gets caught out here. The tornado is good. One more bit of damage will do it. The dash isn't quite on the mark for the Ratatusker. Not sure it would have been enough damage. Anyways, but over in the duo lane is this Changa, blinks onto the Hachiman. Not going to have enough damage at this point to really do a whole lot. Athena could potentially be in some damage, but again, just not enough damage out of this level 2. Changa does establish some nice pressure for their duo lane, but going back to the mid lane, Scooby Daddy gotta be careful in this early to mid game. Cannot fall down early to a Wukong. Changa waltzes in, steals a couple mid camps, does some poke, and just walks away.
Yeah, standard Chang'e behavior.
Yeah, totally normal. Yeah. Mid camps going the way of Ice Age. This Wukong, if you thought that an AMC snowballed hard last game, give Wukong mid a lead and it is terrifying. He just dives your tower without regard for your health, your teammates' health. It does not matter. He just kills you. Scooby Daddy has the pick, has the tools to deal with it. Kukulkan is able to play it very safely in this lane, drop the tornado and leave if he needs to. A little bit of a repeat gank here from the Chang'e, but she's just a level 3 Chang'e, no real threat at this point. Rochester picked up that Bull Demon, realized he can't quite solo it at this point, just walks away, goes to his back camps. No real harm, no foul.
Yep, not gonna be having anything too troubling happening just yet, but there's always time.
Always.
Already Surtur just being Surtur. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna run at
Bologna.
you and I'm gonna beat you up.
Bologna went with the aggressive starter item choice here, went for that Death's Toll. Means they're going to be squishy in this lane. Once Surtur gets that first defense item on, should start winning trades in this lane, I would imagine, just by being tankier with that axe. Bologna going for the, I assume will be a phalanx here, the normal solo lane build, but Surtur with a little bit more traditional star does mean that Bologna is going to be pretty squishy throughout the entirety of the game, really no matter what they build. No defensive starter item, just going to be squishy. Kukulkan getting low here. Wukong wants the solo kill, gets the dive, and he gets the first blood onto the Kukulkan. Disaster in the mid lane. Ratatasker doesn't have enough damage to kill this Wukong, and the one thing you did not want to see happen happens in the mid lane. Wukong gets the first blood. Athena desperately trying to dash away over in the dual lane is going to be able to find some safety. The pillar cuts off the way back into lane, but that is not what Athena is interested in, going to wrap around through their jungler. Chang'e, though, on her way over with the blink. Hachi still has the beats, still has the ultimate. Chang'e, well, just hanging out behind the tower, taking a smoke break. Nobody there. Now going to wrap around. Doesn't look like the Hachi or the Athena knows this is happening, but I don't know if the Chang'e has enough damage yet. The blink is good. The follow-up is as good as it gets, but Hachi smartly holds on to his beads, realizes you are a tier 1 item Chang'e jungle. You pose absolutely no threat to me. Ratatasker ult is not on the mark, but what is the follow-up good for a return kill onto the Ganesha Athena ult that used there as well. Health bars low in the mid lane. We are scrapping all over the place. Scooby Daddy needs to stay alive here. Cannot give another kill to this Wukong.
Yeah, definitely, gotta love that Ratatosker using that power spike. Oh, Chang'e's over there? That's cool. Well, I'm just like, infinitely stronger in this early game, so I'm gonna do whatever I want to do over here. So glad
Yeah,
glad to see, we're actually dealing with our power spikes, saying, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, sure, you blink ulted as Chang'e, but like you don't have any items, so that doesn't matter. And I'm a rat, and I have the greatest power spike in the game.
Yeah, could not agree more. Actually, off air, we were talking about the power spike that is Equinox. Ruler brought up a great point. That Thistlethorn Acorn is probably the only power spike that is better. So much damage for this Ratatasker. Bull Demon getting worked on by 3 members of Ice Age. Just the Chong God tanking it though, taking a lot of damage there. Dharmic Pillars come out not quite where they want it to be here. The Ratatasker trying to steal it and is able to steal the Bull Demon. Nicely done by PV. No burst used there by Ice Age. Chang'e had the ultimate, didn't want to commit it to the Bull Demon and gets it stolen away. A nice start to the game from PV, having a lot more impact than last time. This is something that Baba's Kitchen needed desperately for this game.
Yeah, definitely. Already looking good, nice and even. I think at this point, last game we were looking at more of a lead than I would like to see. So definitely doing a much better job this game, keeping it nice and even in this early game, and should be able to scale that pretty well. Do have a lot of tools at their disposal to, snowball this out themselves.
I love this from Athena. Taunt every single time it is up. Just get some poke, get in their head, make them scared of this taunt, scared to walk up when the Athena is around. I love that style of play from supports. Just be present, make your, so even if you're just eating autos, I mean, that's a quarter of Wukong's HP with no ability follow up, just autos. I love this from Rory Mercury, looking good on the Athena so far. Wukong in for that Soul Eater, so a little bit weak until that is actually stacked up, and going to the same build that he went last game, going for that Hydras and the second slot. I know it worked out for him last game. I still don't like it, man.
Yeah, still not the biggest fan of it.
Oh no. finds the
No.
kill, does the Wukong in the mid lane. Are they able to turn anything around? Ratatoskr not local, not going to be able to do much about it as he dashes back in. The supreme confidence that Ratatoskr was not rotating, unparalleled from Jolt, and it is another kill in the mid lane. Here comes the ultimate from the Ratatoskr. It is good. Dharmic Pillars do a lot of damage to the Ratatoskr, but unfortunately for him, full HP, and they are least able to turn around a kill again. PV doing a good job of wherever fights are happening, wherever his teammates are dying, making the good counter rotations to at least make sure his team is not falling too far behind.
I do love the supports fighting over the scepter.
It's so much fun.
I love it in solo lane, I love it in support. Everybody else, they're just like, I'm just gonna kill you. But
Yeah.
the big meatheads that are just like smacking each other, standing on top of it. It's such
I
fun.
love seeing Jing Chen's like ult people off of Jimmy, just like especially in solo. We had that Jing Chen phase not too long ago. Oh, so much fun. Nike pushing people off of that.
Yo.
This is the stupidest interactions. Kuzenbo ulting for it. I mean, just who cares if I don't have an ultimate? I've got the scepter, man.
Yeah, it's just like at Worlds, Does the totem win the game for you? No. But are you going to in for it? If your name is Mika, you do, and you win you win Worlds because of it.
Absolutely. Waxing Crescent though comes out for PB, trying to find some follow-up. Serpent of the Nine Winds clips the support, but no one else. Lane Kanu able to track down PV in his jungle. Athena could be in some danger as well. The Tornado finds some damage, but just onto the support. And Ganesha tanky enough at this point to be okay. Red buff going to be stripped away, and they are going back to that Bull Demon. No ultimate available for the Kukulkan, no beads available either, so don't imagine he will be stepping up to this, and he won't be. Bull Demon eventually will go down to Ice Age here. The Kukulkan thinking about getting in, and he steals it away! Ice Age twice in a row, unable to secure it, and the taunt back into the Tornado gets Stopu as well. They're just not doing this Bull Demon fast enough, not sending someone to zone. The Kuku with, as I mentioned, no beads, no ult, just rolls in, gets an Athena taunt, gets a kill, steals the Bull Demon.
Yeah, just unfortunate, looking to burn that down, and they just aren't able to do it fast enough. Maybe a Dharmic Pillars was in order. I don't know. I think that Dharmic Pillars is the funniest thing. I'll be playing
Yeah.
support, and I'll just drop it on an objective.
Yeah, it's on
Oh, we're doing gold tier?
75
Yeah, throwing it on there.
It's on a 75-second cooldown, man. What are you waiting for? But
Exactly.
I
And it's got
twice-
prot shred. It's got a big slow. If somebody tries to steal it, it does everything I want it to.
Absolutely. I mean, twice in a row, ultimates not used by Ice Age. First time, the Waxing Crescent was not used. This time, Dharmic Pillars was not used. And twice in a row, stolen away. Beads forced out, though, from the Kukulkan. That is one dead Athena. Big Kukulkan ult, but unfortunately, the health bars are much too high still. Changa was wrapping around, looking for more, but will not find it.
It's a full
Athena
damage
falls
Sun
down.
Wukong, man. Why doesn't he take damage? It's not fair. Warrior stats are insane. Warrior stats are just not fair.
Plus lifesteal, plus Wukong passive.
No, but it didn't even like move his health bar. He lost like 200 health.
Alright.
It didn't even do anything, and then he's just full health because he has soul eating.
I've avoided my rant so far on Franks, but mages stink, man. Anyways, play assassins, play hunters, play warriors. They're all better than mages. Anyways, I am a mid laner. Yeah. There's just too many counters to mages in the game. Their items aren't that good. Just play something else. I love
Their items are good. They just cost $3 trillion.
Yeah, they
Oh, you
just
want an item that's gonna be 3,000 gold, huh? What? The ADC just bought one for 2,100. What do you mean? I have to pay $3 grand?
Exactly. Give me Oboe in the mid lane, man. Because I don't know how that would work, but give it. I mean, I guess we kind of have
Divine
it.
Ruin.
Divine Ruin.
Divine Ruin. They did add it. People just like forget that it does that sometimes.
It is actually pretty core on a bunch of characters for that bounce. I can actually hits pretty hard late
It
game,
does.
but give me that as often as we.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Using it to secure objectives. It
Refuses
secured
to
that
use it
objective.
for Bull Demon. Beacon, nobody contesting, absolutely throwing that bad boy out there. Like, at
Uncontested
least he's
beacon. That's
using
the
it, man.
optimal time.
He's using it. That improvement is what we strive for here at Frank's, and that is improvement in my
Like, he
opinion.
didn't even have cooldown either, so like that's a full timer.
It's a 75-second ult, man. It's like old on her ult. You just like throw it out because like you sneezed, and you're just like, ah, darn. I guess I don't.
Somebody
have
hit me with a
anymore.
stun. Time to on her ult.
Yeah. And at
I've
least
been
they fixed it on
inconvenienced on
her.
her ult.
At least it's back to 90 seconds on her ult. Ganesh ult still at 75 seconds, probably because the character doesn't get played all that much. Though he is, I still think he does his job quite well. Doing their job quite well is Bob's Kitchen going to this Gold Fury. I love this. Bull Demon happens on the other side, but the Gold Fury secured by the Kukulkan. Excellent pull there. They realize a couple members went to that Bull Demon. Gold Fury goes down. They have by far the best secure on the map, and they use it well there. Excellent macro play from Baba's Kitchen.
Yeah, definitely good call from them. Oh, they're going to Bold Demon? Yeah, we just take gold there. Just, very heads up play. Gets that done. And I just looked at a build and got a little disappointed.
I'm scared to ask which one.
Second item oboe on Hachimon.
It's not great. It's not completely horrible. Xe Kin, Devo's Xe Kins, shockingly is just really good. But it does help with your boxing, but who cares about boxing when we can kill people? PV goes over and commits some murder on Captain Boat. Very aggressive build, has that Equinox plus the Death's Toll, does not have a whole lot of procs to their name, and gets deleted by the Ratatasker with the Acorn plus the Jotun's. Plenty of damage on board for the Squirrel Man. Gets a kill onto the Bologna. Full purchases that Berserker shield. So they were sitting on a lot of gold over there in the Soul Lane and gets caught out a little bit. Wukong doesn't have a whole lot of mana. The dash is good. Stun comes out, forces out the ultimate and the beads from the Wukong. A massive win in the mid lane for this Ratatosker. The taunt comes through, but off the mark is the Serpent of the Nine Winds. A little miscommunication there. What could have been a very nice play for Baba's Kitchen. They pulled the beads, pulled the ult, got the taunt, and just a little bit not on the same page were the mid laner and support of Baba's Kitchen. A missed opportunity there to shut down Jolt.
Oh no, there's a tornado. It's not fair.
But he's got Dharmic Pillars, man.
He does have Dharmic Pillars.
He's gonna die.
That tornado's doing too much.
He was considering dying for it, and I respect that.
He was really close to being ready for it.
Who might actually die for this is the Kukulkan, though. The shell comes out nicely timed there by Rory Mercury, going to save his mid laner's life. No ultimate available to the Chang'e after that mid skirmish. To jump in from the Honor. Hachiman fighting for his life. Rat ult comes up a little bit short, but the stun is good. Relics hung onto by T-Pity. Greedy's on his relics and falls down, pays the price for his aggression, is pushed all the way up to that T2, jumps in, and just an easy picking for PV.
Yeah, this Ratatosker really has just been a thorn in the side of Ice Age as they find themselves down about 500, 600 gold. Nothing too crazy at the 16-minute mark, but big improvement from game one, and PV on this Ratatosker is going crazy.
Does Chef Baba know something I do? He's doing 1,000 player damage a minute on Surtur. Huh?
Yeah.
Jolt ults Casper. Does not get anything. Now doesn't have beats or ult again. Yes, I love this from the Athena. Taunt him immediately again. This is such a good opportunity. The taunt doesn't come out though onto the Wukong. Maybe not sure that his beads were still down. Could have been an opportunity. I just want to see Rory do what they were doing the first few minutes of this game. Taunt everything you see. You have a Kukulkan standing next to you. I don't care if it's the support. I don't care if it's the mid laner. Just taunt them. I mean, look how much damage doing already. Chang'e comes up, says hello, does a little bit of poke to the Cuckoo, doesn't commit the ultimate though. A little bit too close to their tower line for the full commit from the Chang'e.
Yeah, definitely using that Athena well. When you have that Kukulkan, when you have that tornado, it's just a ton of damage.
Dash forwards, jukes out the Tiger Stun, brings them into the Tornado. Nicely done there from the Athena. Spirit of the Nine Winds isn't going to connect though. Did force out the ultimate from the Sun. Wukong up into that cloud, still feeling pretty healthy, able to jump back in aggressively. Has the Jotun's Vigor, has the Soul Eater, so much life steal. Ratatasker trying to get back into the mix. The Cuckoo though doing so much damage in the middle. Chonga takes another tick of Tornado. Elbow from the Hachi nearly does it. Wukong in aggressively here. This is the shutdown they've been looking for. One more bit of damage, but the ult defensively from Lenkanu just needs a little bit more damage from anybody. PV nearly gets it. Dashes in to the Ganesha, and finally Paradox gets a kill on the end. T-Pity picks up Scooby Daddy out though on the back. The counter rotation from the ADC jumps nearly into place, and Jolt and Linkanu get out at such low HP. Both would have been a nice shutdown, and they're just not able to find that last bit of damage. But they're also maybe not done fighting. Assumed that Baba's Kitchen was going to give this up here with low HP bars. Finally, we'll be
TP
forced to
coming
give
in,
it
and
up.
this is raid boss Surtur. This is 22,000. Oh, he got impaled. Never mind.
Nope.
Abort mission.
Abort
You'll
mission.
get him next
Abort,
time. You'll get him
abort.
next time. Just walks up. Thud. Never mind. Never mind. We're done here. We're done here. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, some discussions that we'd start to see in, some of the scrims that I've been playing in at least is with these auto attack warriors starting to become so much more prevalent in the meta. Just might be the ADC, the best ADC. Impale is such a good tool against the Osiris, the Bellona, the Surtur, those type of characters that kind of need to just be able to walk at you. You just impale them away and say, hey, cool, let's try this again later.
Yep, you have that impale. You have the shifting sands. I believe is the pillar. Just the ability to get distance. You get that slow down. You do something. Baba's Kitchen
Pyromancer.
doing something, grabbing that Pyromancer.
Absolutely, some nice macro play from Baba's Kitchen, and it almost doesn't feel like it because the fights haven't seemed like they're going their way, but Baba's Kitchen has got a nice little 1,500 to 1,000 gold lead here. Much more competitive than game one, and that's what they needed. Needed to get into a position that you feel like you can fight back, and they're certainly in a good position this game. They still have the best objective on the map the entire game. They have a nicely scaling comp. I mean, Chef Baba is nearly double the next person's player damage. I was presumably going to have a lot of stacks on that Surtur passive. Going to be a raid boss when he comes in. Even if he's not ahead in actual levels or items, he should just be hitting so hard with that Surtur one. I'm assuming he's got a lot of stacks.
We don't get to
based
see
on
the
that damage.
stacks, but
No,
I'm sure
it's a
there's got to be a
passive,
ton.
and high
There's gotta
res
be.
doesn't show you passives because they're lame. But I'm assuming that that's a big boy number of stacks on the Surtur passive.
Yeah, and right now, looking a little worried in the jungle here. You know, Chunga has to build a bunch of expensive items, and Rat is up 3 levels.
Yeah,
And we're building Bobble. We're fine. You're fine. He's wasting 3,000 gold on,
Yeah, Bobble pre-nerf, definitely fine in the jungle. Actually, Ratatasker was one of the characters I liked it on pre-nerf. With that Bumpus Hammer, gives you some fight potential outside of your ultimate, but now it is, as you mentioned, so expensive, and goodbye! Chang'e uses the beads much too late there, and gets executed by the taunt into Serpents of 9 Winds. Nicely executed by Baba's Kitchen, and now you have a window where you're in a 4v5. I would love to see the Surtur come over and try and force a gold share.
Yeah, definitely has the ability to force that.
Ganesha
Stocky, what are
trying
you
to take
doing?
this tower. Okay.
what are we doing?
Hits it
what are we
twice,
thinking?
realizes that he is Ganesh, and walks away.
At least he recognized that he was Ganesh, and it wasn't his job to kill the tower.
No. That might be the least threat that tower has ever felt in its life. Interesting pickups though, kind of notice here. The beat picked up by the Ganesha. Honestly, kind of like it here. Give one less target for that Athena to ult into the Kukulkan damage Surtur. Forced to ult away defensively. Wukong lurking in the background, but not going to be able to find any further aggression. And while the Ganesha did opt for the beads, the person that didn't opt for the beads is this Bologna. Went for a blink as well. Not the thorns, not the beads, but blink instead. An aggressive option means they won't be as reliant on using that Eagles rally to get in. But if they get CC chained, that is not a tanky Bologna build.
Yeah, definitely. Probably banking a little bit on, not a ton of super confirmable CC. Yeah, sure, you have taunt. The Acorn Blast from Ratatoskr, pretty easily confirmable, but after that, you're looking at Surtur too. Can be pretty dodged, Hachi Dash. There's not a ton of hard CC, so should be able to live with that, relic choice.
Have to see if that pans out for the Bologna. Goldfear getting looked at here by Baba's Kitchen. I love how much more aggressive they've been on these objectives. They don't have Serpent of the Nine Winds though. Are Ice Age able to get in? The Goldfear does go down to Primal to Baba's Kitchen. Are they able to get out? It looks like they're going to be fine here. No real chase potential. They're sticking around at the green buff, maybe a touch too long, but Surtur, the big daddy, has shown up to stop the further aggressions. Just a little bit of poke onto the Athena, and it might actually be Baba's Kitchen looking for the fight here. The taunt is pretty good. Gets Tornado onto a couple of Wukong, brawling it out with that Surtur. So much lifesteal on this Wukong, and no real anti-heal options besides the Divine Ruin picked up. No brawlers for the Ratatoskr, no Pestilence, no Contagion, no Horrific. They're going to need some more lifesteal to deal with this Wukong. Surtur is cheating this on her. The up-down, the fight. Are they going to commit? I really hope they do. The Cuckoo one might stop that, but he might pay for it with his life. The relics are good. Wukong going to continue to dive here. Thinks about it, doesn't commit to it. Athena all in on the Surtur as well. It is chaos. He ults the clone. The clone never stood a chance. Chunga split pushing. Of all things,
I respect
what
it. I
is
respect it.
happening?
Like I just said, all right, we're a little bit behind. We're not, winning these fights. Let's just go be where they're not. Oh yeah, we're gonna push them, back into their bat camps. Keep them from getting out. We're gonna take the Pyromancer while we're doing that. Oh, they're starting to walk up in mid. We're gonna go take that right tower, getting themselves back into this game without having to, go crazy and win a bunch of fights.
Ratatuskr, good poke there onto the Changa, but it is a Changa. She has plenty of sustain and no brawlers for that Ratatuskr might come back to bite him later in this game. They're going to need to find some anti-heals somewhere. They do have the Envenomed Executioner, which should help
Do you
out
have the
a
Divine
decent
Ruin?
amount. Plus the Divine, would love to see a Contagions or a Pestilence somewhere along the way. I mean, you maybe even could have thought about Toxic Blade for the Surtur. He did go a pretty defensive build, which I think is for the best, to be fair. But probably could have fit a Toxic Blade in there if they felt like they needed it. So who might be in trouble is this Athena. Dharmic Pillars do not come out in time. Athena running for their life, does have the ultimate, but not sure they're going to be able to stop and channel a Tiger Stun used by the Wukong. Takes a tower shot because he felt like it. The Tornado gets a couple, nicely done by Scooby Daddy, having a nice impact on this game. The Tornadoes have been consistently good, as have the ultimates, but Chef Bob gets caught in the middle of 4, makes that 5 members of Ice Age. And I know you're ahead, you're a big Surtur, it's tanky Surtur, but that is a full build, essentially ADC. He's got the X, he got the Kins, got the Leaders Cows. Is that point of the game where ADCs are just going to tear through you no matter what you've built or who you're playing?
Yeah, definitely. Just able to get shredded down to see them burn the Chang'e ult there. Do you see the Fire Giant getting to about half health and Scooby Daddy do in a little bit of a precarious spot?
I
not
like
quite
the
going to get
idea. Maybe gave away his position just a little bit too easy. Taunt going to buy him some time. The ultimate a little bit too early. The desperate attempt to steal does not pay off for the Kukulkan. A valiant effort, but now the chase is out onto the rest of Baba's Kitchen. Looks like they should be able to disengage okay, but Relic's ultimate and the Fire Giant are in the possession of Ice Age. Kukulkan 40 seconds on his respawn timer. Mid tier 2 falls down. They could look for a Phoenix here. The main base defense tool of Baba's Kitchen is not available, but instead going to play it slow, grab a T2, maybe grab an Oni Fury on their way out. Not feeling comfortable enough just yet. Take that push even without the Kukulkan available. Tier 2 should go down. The Athena taunts in here could be in a lot of trouble. You have no teamates around
Okay,
you,
now we
Mr.
go for the
Athena.
teammates. There we go. Got another pick. Now we go for this.
Now we
Oh
go
god.
for the
Oh
Eagles
god.
rally is great. Beads forced out and nowhere for Paradox to go. Surtur Ulton trying to do something, but they are going in one at a time. This just doesn't going to work. Kukulkan doing what he can, but he still doesn't have the ultimate. Ratatasker trying to help out their soul lane. They're going to try and end this game. It is
Nah, you don't end here.
2v5. And they're
Get that
just
mid turret
going to
though.
back away. They're not going to take that end call just yet. Kukulkan had the ultimate coming back up. Ganesha, or excuse me, Ratatasker blinks past the Ganesha and isn't enough damage. The lifesteal too much to deal with from Ice Age, and now the end call is on Kuku. Has that ultimate, going to need a big one here from Scooby Daddy Doo. Athena gets in, the taunt comes out. Titan down to a third HP. Do they have enough? Down to a quarter. Team Pity gets a kill onto the Athena. The Kukulkan cannot do it, and Ice Age is going to advance to the finals of Kane's division, Walker's division.
Walker's division. Walker's division.
Hey,
Yep.
we've gotten there. Ice Age will advance to the finals. Have a clean 2-0 over Baba's Kitchen.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the cleanest. I mean, they did take it in the minimum amount of games, but that game too was very close. Looked fine for a while, and then just a couple misplays. Diving in a little bit too hard without follow up, getting a little too aggressive, looking for that steal on just the regular FG. That was the one that really stuck out to me. That was what Ice Age was waiting for. They were looking for that opportunity. Scooby steps up a little bit too far, looking to get the steal, and all of a sudden, oh, we're all losing HP. We're losing our relics. We're dying to try to steal this fire giant, and oh, we're gonna stagger death timers, and there we go. Ice Age is able to take it on a position where I say they shouldn't have been able to take it. You know, should have been
Yeah,
able to just kind of live that defense, give up that tier 2, back off, but just one after another they file in and just doesn't work that way. Gotta be a little bit more patient. Gotta take your losses where you can, in just to survive.
Yeah, Baba's Kitchen was in a very good spot for most of that game, was even or slightly ahead for such a long time. Then Scooby Daddy dies with the Fire Giant. Rory Mercury gets a little bit too aggressive on the T2. Chef Baba gets a little bit too aggressive on the Phoenix, and before you know it, PV gets a little aggressive trying to turn one back around, and the game ends up ending just a series of picks, never able to get that true 5v5 that this comp was really looking for. And Ice Age, to their credit, capitalized on those mistakes beautifully.
Yeah, definitely great capitalization. They they were a little bit down the entire game, but they were not out. They never played like they were behind. They said, "Oh no, we're fine. We're just gonna do something else over here, something else over there." Never letting themselves get down, and seeing them come back from that little bit of a deficit. Definitely a good sign. Looking for them in finals. They can play a little bit behind. They can overcome those obstacles. They're down quite a bit in the jungle, but it doesn't matter because we're farming really well in ADC. We're doing a good job in solo, and just great performance. And I'm excited to see them in finals.
Absolutely gonna be fun to see them in the finals. I believe the other Walker matchup is Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Killer Kappas versus Cyberpunk Otters this
You are
Sunday.
100% correct. Sunday,
Ah,
and I
let's
believe
go.
8 p.m.
We've regained our
8
bearings.
p.m.
So
Yes,
excited
yes.
at the end of the game. Forgot what division we were casting. But
Yep.
pulled it back together. I believe we have a full slate of games on Sunday
Yep.
starting
2
at 2
p.m.,
p.m.
5 p.m., 8 p.m. But
Yeah, starting
full
at 2
day.
p.m. with the Canes semifinal. We'll have to see you all around then. We thank you guys for tuning in. I have been Helen here with Ruler of Men and our lovely spectator, Deacon. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Thursday night, and we will see you all Sunday. Have a great night.